Hi, this is Rick from For Community, creating community spaces so you can connect with others and also with God. I have been working out at home until just recently. Just recently, I joined the gym at the local community center. And going into the gym for my first time in years, I was expecting to see some kind of gains and have a great time. I was expecting that things would be generally as they always have been. However, since the last time I was at the gym, I turned 50 somewhere along the way, and things are not as I remember them being. Instantly, and I mean within a few days, I needed to revisit my expectations and become more of a realist about what it means to be going to the gym at 50 in order to manage the newfound pain in my joints. What about you? Have you ever returned to something that you used to do to discover that you had to adjust your expectations? If you've got a story about having to adjust your expectations, please pause the video and share your story with whoever it is you're watching with. This video is based on my interpretation of Psalm 23. Heading into this new year, I thought it would be a good idea to manage our expectations and try to get ahead of not burning ourselves out this year. So Psalm 23 just jumped out to me, and I'm going to share what I see in it, and hopefully it helps you too. Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I have all that I need. He lets me rest in green meadows. He leads me beside peaceful streams. He renews my strength. He guides me along right paths, bringing honor to his name. Even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect and comfort me. You prepare a feast for me in the presence of my enemies. You honor me by anointing my head with oil. My cup overflows with blessings. Surely your goodness and unfailing love will pursue me all the days of my life, and I will live in the house of the Lord forever.
I wonder what that noise was about.
I think it was a TIE fighter.
Chewie, where you going, you fraidy furball? That's for smuggling!
Hey kids! Don't forget to watch this week's episode of Connect HQ.
In Psalm 23, this is what I see. 2 grounding expectations for this year. In this text here in Psalm 23, there are 2 major parts. In the first part, I see the focus is on God, as we're given an encouraging description of who God is and what he does. It's all about God. In the second part, I see the focus on our lived experiences, particularly the darker times in our lives. Then an encouraging description of how God shows up when we're going through those darker moments. Both of these parts inspired me to think about my expectations for this year. And I think these 2 expectations can help us get our heads into 2023 with expectations that will ground us instead of lead us towards burnout. Expectation number 1, expect that God will make you rest. The text says, he lets me rest in green meadows. He leads me beside peaceful streams. He renews my strength. In the first part of this, what's really jumping out to me is God's heavy-handedness over our health. And by health, I really mean mental, spiritual, physical, social, holistic health, like all of it. There's a picture being painted of God as a shepherd who not only leads, but also instructs and even enforces things to happen in regards to our health. A wise shepherd knows when his animals need a rest or a drink or a graze. I mean, the old adage is true, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. However, in this psalm, what I'm seeing is a more heavy-handed approach where our good shepherd has a lot more wisdom to lead and keep us in a place until we take care of what we need to take care of. Can we ignore him? Well, of course we can. Can we say no to the rest? Well, of course we can. No one's losing that free will. Will we burn out? Yeah, probably. For God's part, he seems to have this tireless energy about him that is tuned into what we need to be holistically healthy and grounded. So let's pause for a moment here so I can encourage you. this year, please keep this in mind. You are more than your work. You're far more than what you do. What you do, obviously, is part of who you are, part of your identity. Like, don't stop doing because it's so important. But you are more than what you do. You're more than your output. You're more than your productivity, your creativity, your good choices, your failures, your bad choices too. What you are is a child of God who is dearly loved, and God dearly loves taking care of you. There's nothing you're doing that's so important for you to ignore your own holistic health and God's directions to take a break and just to ground. You don't live to work. You work to fund your life. You work to put groceries on the table and to pay the rent or pay the mortgage. You don't live to work, though. At the end of this year, your worth in God's eyes won't change regardless of your productivity at work. He wants you and your personal connection to Him. So, this year, remember to take some time to focus on your holistic health and become a pursuer of God. Yes, He's pursuing you, but don't forget that relationships are reciprocal. Become a pursuer of God. And part of what it means to pursue God is to take a rest and just enjoy some time in His presence where you're not doing a whole lot of work. Take some time out, focus on connecting with God this year. The second expectation, very grounding, that I see jumping out in Psalm 23 is this. Expect that God won't spare you from valleys. The text says, even when I walk through the darkest valley. It doesn't say that God will scoop me up and put me on a mountaintop. It doesn't say that He's going to be that shield around me so nothing can hurt me. There's nothing of that type in this psalm. The second thing that jumps out to me is just a little less fun. And I'm really sorry, you are going to go through trials, hard times. You're going to pay your dues somehow. There is pain coming your way in some form or another this year. You can pray all you want for God to give you a life without trouble, but it's not in the cards for you or anyone else. It's not going to be like this forever. If you're a Jesus follower, then you know that we're looking forward to Jesus' return and whatever He's got in store for us that we can call eternity. It's going to be wonderful and blissful, and it's going to be awesome. God doesn't promise us a trouble-free life right now. He promises, though, to walk with us through it, to encourage us through it, to guide us through it, to stay with us all the way through it and bring us to the other end and meet us there. Our journey through it will in some way be an opportunity for us to demonstrate Him and to bring honor to Him. To put this in perspective, that He's not sparing us from valleys. Keep in mind that Jesus didn't come to this world to live a protected, trouble-free life. He came to live life. And the living of life includes troubles. And in some cases, troubles are awesome because it's those times in the valley, it's those times of uncertainty, it's those times of pain that inspire us to grow and to learn and to move forward. Jesus came to experience, to endure, to die, and to rise again. And this will be our experience too. So here's a heads up about this coming year. It is not going to be perfect. You are going to make mistakes. Some of the valleys that you walk through are valleys that you have created for yourself. But God never abandons you. He's there every step of the way with you. He's not giving up on you if you created your own valley. He's not running away screaming in terror and abandoning you if you're in a valley that you never saw coming. You're never alone. You're never forgotten. You're never abandoned. You're always loved. You're always treasured, always valued, and you're headed toward an eternity that's unspeakably awesome. For you and I, when we get to those valleys, when we get to those troubles, one of the healthy things we can say is, okay, what am I going to learn through this? How am I going to grow through this? I don't want to experience this all the time, so I need to grow my way out of this. So I come out the other side of this as strong as I can, learn my lesson, and keep on moving forward. The psalm ends like this: I will live in the house of the Lord forever. That's a really good thing to keep in mind while we walk through our valleys, self-made or otherwise. God's got a plan to wipe away every trouble, and his plan includes you. So keep following Jesus and hold on, because in just a little while, we'll be experiencing whatever it is that God has waiting for us. And he promises that it will be amazing as we are co-heirs with Jesus. Expect that God will make you rest, and expect that God won't spare you from valleys. Here's my takeaway. If you've been a Bible reader for a while, you've heard this psalm before, you've read it before, and it's possible it's one of your favorite. I know it's one of mine. So you may have a really great way of interpreting this psalm that I didn't even touch on, and I'd love to hear your take on this. So please plan on connecting with us this week. That's it from me to you for now. Would you please like, share? Would you please subscribe? Would you please ask for the link? Also, this week we're meeting in Beaton. So if you're local to me, plan on coming out to the Beaton Community Center. That would be awesome at 3 o'clock. If you'd like to contribute, you can find the link down in the show notes for community, creating community spaces so you can connect with others and also with God. See you next time.